we're gonna bolt on now the CVT to the Gen 3 engine, just so we can get the car running, since the CVT is already programmed to the car. Alright, another myth debunked. The CVT transmission bolts up to B9 Gen 3 engine perfectly. All the bolts go in. We're about to get the starter installed, the B8 starter. And the flywheel moves smoothly. It's not scratchy, it's not touching anything.
What we're gonna do right now, you have another connector coming from the car. This is the one we go repeat. You know what I'm saying?
Goes from what? Oh wait. So this doesn't get repinned, this does?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because the stock ECU, the one you have, is the same engine. So go work perfect. But the pins over here, you send the message for the cluster, all this kind of stuff, is different.
ECS.
So this is where we have to replace it. Probably, I don't believe they change too much. They just add stuff. Like they come, some holes has empty, so we just probably go add some wires. This is what I think.
Oh, okay.
So if you have the key over there, and the ECU from the another one, we can put over here, you know, because the another is manual. Probably the command for the start need to hit the brake and for start the clutch. Yeah. So this one no, there's just the brake. So probably it's different things. This we have to figure out. This area over here and the ribbing over here. It's not going to be hard. At first we need to plug everything. Make sure like the pins no switch the positive to negative. That's okay. If it's positive and negative is the same position, and I believe so because it's big one. So and the 5 volts reference will go to the ground one. So we good, you know. So we try starting and we see where the codes we have. You know. So after that we
got to figure out each code.
Yeah. So say well this need to be repeated, this needs to be repeated. But if you want to look online, you can check. But we have to see the I try to look online in my house.
Because this is a V8.5 with the Gen 3. Theoretically, wouldn't the engine work right with the modules inside? Yeah. This is the Euro version. I bought this from Lithuania.
Alright. So yeah, just go work with this engine.
Theoretically, it should work.
Yeah. So probably what we have to do, yeah, we just go take over there, look over here.
And we work from there.
And we see what happens. It's not going to start.
Unless we disable the mobilizer. What we could do is we copy the codes or the values from here and we just put it into the other ECU.
Actually, what you just have to copy is the immobilizer key code from this one, and we just add on another one. Right now, next step, let's put the transmission amount on it so we can handle everything by itself. And we need to start studying the wires over here. It can be a mess like that, but we just figure it out over here and we can rewire everything.
Yeah.
We can custom color whatever pass, whatever.
My other worry now is the component protection.
Yeah, we learn how to remove this thing.
Which I know the software to remove component protection is the off-board diagnostic something Otis system, the Otis software. This one is an extra A4 ECU that I have. This one's a stock one on my car, but it's actually stage 2 tuned. So the mobilizer is defeated on this one. This is the Euro version A4 with the Gen 3 engine, B8.5. And then this is the stock 2018 A4 ECU. And this is the Gen 3 1.8 harness, I believe, for the B8.5 A4. That's also the Euro version. So we're going to do a little bit of pinning now with the ECUs. Pull the B9 harness out because we're a bit confused. I couldn't understand why the B9 comes with one engine harness. This is one hell of a nightmare. We're basically mating in the B8 Euro harness with the B9 harness. We're manually pinning it out. And we have to look into the Q5 because it's the same engine as the B8, the original one. We have to do a little bit of research. Here. With the color coding. Jesus. €8.5.
Good, it's closed. Because inside with AC. So okay, so right now we need to plug the another connector go on this side, or is it? Is the one that has just one wire, right?
It's the one that has all one wire, yeah. They disconnect everything.
So it's gonna be great for us if you can do that. You print out just these connectors, big, on a piece of paper with the numbers, and you label. So we hang over here, you know. So me and you sit over here. We take a wire, pull it back, pull it back.
Yeah, so far I started off on that side, labeled all the ECU pins from the right plug. We're gonna be making a custom wiring harness.
Because what we have to do, okay, the another harness we go keep over there.
Yeah.
So we should put this on the side, okay, and we take the another harness over here, and we repin it, and we start putting, okay, this connector over here, because there's so many stuff over here. If we keep it, we'll get it lost. Because we need to keep this.
See, I have this. See, I see the engine. Here's a whole wiring harness. Q5 is the same thing as the A4. They use the same thing.
For this.
Yeah, it's the same one.
Euro. It's euro.
Yeah, and actually the colors, they match up with the B9 engine harness, almost all of them pretty much. And like each connector is almost the same too with the B9.
So what we can do is going to be that we will take this harness, is well done. We don't need to put nothing else, everything we need is on there.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do, we go put the ECU. We can screw the ECU on the table, so we have an idea where it goes.
Okay.
When we go put this on the ECU, it's done. So we clean till here, we just repin it on the place. So this is like the car, the table is the car.
But not all of them, not all of them.
Yeah. So we plug the another connector on the other side ECU, and we put the another harness on the floor. So we start plugging, because what I don't understand, we have everything we need over here. So why we need another connector with 95 pins? You know, this is like make my mind blow right now.
This is 105. We just need the other one. Yeah.
91. So is 91 the hardest? Where they go? Because we have everything plugged with it. This is where my mind is getting crazy.
That's where I pulled up the B9 diagram. The wiring harnesses.
Yeah, because these go to the other side connector. So this is what we have to do right now. We go take this harness, put it the computer right here, and then we start, because we see something, you know. Because right now I look over there and say, well, my mind is like
spaghetti mess.
You check what is this on the pin 64,
What page?
16 of 24.
Ah, okay. G604. Jeez. Gear recognition sensor on the B8.5 Euro.
On his harness.
Yeah.
And
Gear recognition sensor.
and the pin number 36 on page 16 of 24.
36. That's the blue and brown.
Yeah.
It gets spliced, but
Yeah.
the main one goes into G294. G294 is brake booster pressure sensor.
On the 8.5 euro, right? Yeah, so we good. We good.
Alright, so we got rid of that, deleting.
This is a ground. This is go where? Can you see where it
Yeah,
is the ground?
I think it's probably the ground.
This one's only.
We'd have to take this apart.
Yeah.
This is the most mind fucking thing I've ever done in my life. Holy shit. This is insane. Apparently we don't need any of that, but we're gonna have to store that away because we don't know if we may need some connectors or we may need some pins. But this is what we are going to be mating from the B8.5 European harness into the 2018 Audi A4 US spec B9 engine harness. Okay, so bear with me as this is a lot to take in. Very technical things going on, but I'm gonna make it as simple and easy for you guys as much as possible. So we debunked another Audi myth. So if you have a B8, B8.5 Audi A4 and you want a DSG, now we know it can be a direct bolt-on, but it's gonna require a lot of customization, not only to the ECU, but the wiring and harness as well, which I'll get into great detail right now. So this right here is my original 2013 Audi A4 harness, engine harness with the CVT transmission. Basically what we did was we took out the CVT plug that goes to the rear of the transmission, and we removed the pins from the ECU and we repinned it to the this is overwhelming. We pinned it to the harness of the B8.5 European Audi A4 harness, the Euro version A4 harness, and it works. It's pretty simple, just repinning, that's it. It wasn't too much. Now the thing is, if we look at the B9 wiring harness, which is this, we realize that the B9 wiring harness, the complete engine harness, is just the left plug, only one plug. But yet in the B8.5, they're both together. They're sold together, and it's the same part number. The same thing with the European B8.5 harness, the wiring harness, the engine harness, ECM harness, whatever. So when we took apart the B8.5 European harness, we found out that it's practically almost the same thing as the B9. Not only the colors match up, but the location almost match up. The difference is the B9 has a little bit more sensors than the B8.5. So basically the B9 engine harness is the more simplified version of this clutter mess, which used to look like this, but it was actually thicker and it had more cables in it. This is really awesome that we have this and not that. So now we are removing the pins off the right side connector from the B8.5 European harness, and we're gonna match it up. We're gonna pin it to each location. Once we have the right pins, since we're mating basically the B8.5 European harness with the B9, not the left side, but the right connector is what we're changing out. We're keeping the left the same. We may need to change some pins on the left side, but other than that, it all stays the same. And we're not going to use any of that. The left side, we're not using it because it's basically this, but this is cleaner than all that cluttered mess when it used to be raveled up. Now we have that sorted out. This is the other side of the wiring harness from the B8.5 European version that we will be using. We had it all labeled out, cleanly and nicely organized. Every sensor location where it goes. Now the trickiest part will be the DSG. We were breaking our heads over what's this called. There's no such thing as a transmission harness for the 2018 Audi A4. They actually don't exist for the B9s. It's actually a part of not only the body control module of the car, but the PCM of the car. BCM, body control module. PCM is power control module, powertrain, something like that. Basically, these get plugged in to the PCM, the BCM, the instrument cluster, and the ECU. They get spliced. There may be at least one connector or one cable or couple of pins in here that get connected to the ECU directly. Other than that, nothing gets connected directly to the ECU, which is really confusing. But now that with the programs and softwares we have, we're gonna have to do a lot of repinning, and then after that, reprogramming. So we have a lot of tools that we bought and we're using, and we're gonna get this running soon. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please subscribe and stay tuned for more crazy content later on. I'll see you in the next one, because I hope my car will be running by then.